You know the way. You can drive.
Ну... Ну... Чё завис-то? Ужас. О, очнулся. Ай. Наконец.
You're behind the wheel.
Доступил наш компьютерный болванчик. Поехали. В резиденцию Паттисона, да, как я понимаю. Почта. Дом, вот, знаете, вот такие же стоят в Sims. Эти. Вот серьезно. Ой. Ай. Чувак, ты зачем меня сбил? Иди сюда. Вот серьезно, вот точно такой же домик, точно такая же вот эта штука. Почтовый ящик. Наверное, зайдем лучше с заднего дворика. Может, он убежит. Если там есть. Есть там еще кто? Нет? Вроде нет. О, сзади какие-то чуваки трутся. Тут все закрыто, закрыто. Ладно. Идем. Кто это сказал? Кто это сказал?
Did your parents ever ask you to run away from home?
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
Can you tell me what happened?
What's to tell? He got hit by a car and now he's dead.
Откуда он знает, что его сбила машина?
You don't appear to be too
Ей вроде
upset
никто не
about the
звонил,
fact.
никто не сообщал.
Lester and I met on a furlough in 44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick it out this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here,
I
and
beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister. It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
А вот и...
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
Ладно, поговорим.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
Большие у нее сиськи, а? Ладно. Привет.
You expect me to believe that, Lorna? It's all very convenient.
Gambling for Lester was like the needle for a hophead. He was yelling at me. He was yelling at the whole world. I kind of felt sorry for the driver. Poor guy had no chance.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it, you were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
Интересно.
The bartender said that you and Leroy were planning to go into business together. Can you explain how you'll get the money to do that?
I have a little money saved away.
You're being economical with the truth, Lorna.
You want to back that up, little
Ну,
man?
страховка. $16,000.
You increased the premium on Lester's life insurance. GI insurance policies have a $10,000 payout.
It was Leroy's idea. Lester lived on the edge. He was always getting into fights, crap games, pinochle, you name it. Turns out it was good advice.
It speaks to motive and premeditation, Lorna.
You're forgetting the hit and run detective.
You and Mr. Sabo have an interesting day.
I'm sure we will, officer. Now, if you could both just leave.
We're leaving, ma'am. Sorry for your loss. I can see what a tough time you're having with all this.
Что, чувак это скажет? Помешался.
You know, I don't really feel like talking to you right now.
Ну ладно. Пиво.
Not much help.
Вообще-то есть.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Pattison autopsy.
Thanks for your help.
Съездим. Что еще есть интересного? Что-то. Нету. Ладно, пойдем отсюда. Стучались и хватит, да? Да куда ты впилился?
Can you drive to this one?
Where are we going?
Сначала, наверное, в морг съездим. Потом
You drive. We
Шелтона.
need to go over the case notes.
Do we know where we're going?
Что там? Что там? Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Идем. Судебный медик. Viewing gallery. Stuff only.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture
Интересно.
reached his heart.
You're kidding me.
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife, length of a bayonet.
We found a knife in the alleyway.
Where is it now? Was it bagged?
By Patrolman Kaplan.
Perfect. I'll get you a definite match.
Jesus, we got him. Murder 1. We were right there and they tried to stare us down. Now they'll both get the gas chamber. We have the knife, we have the coroner's report, and I bet we could roll Sabo as a witness.
Так, ну для начала нам
Let's bring
надо
her in.
исследовать. Нам надо исследовать другую пометку, места. Дом Шелтона. Посмотрим.
You're behind the wheel.
It's a lucky break getting a partial ID. These cases are usually dead in the water after 24 hours if no one comes forward.
Why don't they just stop?
You heard about fight or flight during the war?
Sure. Never back your enemy into a corner. That kind of stuff.
Right. Well, in a hit and run, the perp is already in flight. It's easier to keep going. Takes a degree of moral courage to stop and accept responsibility.
Not as dumb as you make yourself out to be, are you, Stefan?
I didn't know I was making myself out to be, though.
Философские разговоры. Философские разговоры. На самом деле, большинство дел довольно-таки наивные и... Ну, не так все-таки выглядят настоящие убийцы. Коварные, хитрые. Уже они-то точно бы не дали знать. Даже не дали себя заподозрить изначально. Он тоже не убьет живым.
William Shelton?
Yes?
It doesn't look good, Shelton. You packing your bags and making a run for it? You know why we're here.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut,
Ну
Shelton.
чё же они все убегают-то? Все равно догоню.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Да господи, что, ну куда ж ты едешь? Куда ж ты едешь? Ну снеси ты дерево. У меня руки из жопы растут. Чего? Уходит Василий Иванович.
We've got to track down that Lincoln, Phelps. Find the car, then we nail the driver. God damn it!
Черт.
So much for our hit and run case.
Ладно, догоним. Пытаемся еще раз. Да. Ну, ролик. Смотрим ролик. И очень умно с его стороны улепетывать на помятой машине со следами крови. Любой полицейский его остановит.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut, Shelton.
Погнали.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Оба. Как он так управляется бегом-то?
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
Я же все равно тебя догоню. Вот что ты делаешь? Дебила просто. Чем убегает? Ай. Скорее уж моя машина. Аж варится к чертовой бабушке. Давай, догоняй. Ова. Сейчас не уйдет. Не уйдет, Василий Иванович! Давай, ё-моё, ну что ж ты делаешь, дебилушка? Давай, ехай. Уйдет, гад. Уйдет. Давай. Куда ж ты, дебилушка-то едешь, а? Идиотина. Ай.
Hold it right there, Shelton.
Где он?
vehicular manslaughter rap sound, Shelton?
I hit him. I admit it. I just panicked, but it wasn't my fault.
What do you mean?
The guy jumped right out in front of me. He
Да.
came out of nowhere. There's nothing
Все так, как мы предполагали, его зарезали и бросили под
I've
колеса.
had accidents before.
That's it. We're done here. The DA is gonna love you.
They weren't all my fault. I'm a surveyor. I need my license for my job. There were people around. A woman and a man were standing right next to him. I thought they
Сам
took him to
уехал,
the
да?
hospital. I'm telling you, it's not my fault.
The guy is dead, Shelton.
You can't be serious.
William Shelton, you're coming downtown. We need to talk about a manslaughter charge. We have the knife, we have the coroner's report, and I bet we could roll
Да.
Sabo as a witness. Let's bring her in. So, initial report came back with an ID on our victim, Lester D. Pattison of 182 North Hope Street. Captain wants us there double quick.
You know the way. You can drive.
Он серьезно. Да. Погнали, погнали, погнали. Так.
You've spoken to the coroner, Mrs. Pattison. He confirmed your husband's cause of death. We'd like you to come downtown and answer some questions.
It wasn't me. It was Leroy's idea. Leroy stabbed him. I had nothing to do with it.
Where is Leroy now?
Бац.
He's in the bedroom.
You're very good, Lorna.
Put the gun down, Leroy. If you do something stupid now, you don't stand a chance in front of the grand
Nice of
jury.
you to give me up, sweetheart. All that whispering in my ear, telling me how we had to get rid of him, how good it could be, all the money we could claim, all that planning, how to get him into the street, how to make it look like an accident.
For God's sake,
you had
Leroy,
all
shut
the
up!
bases covered, baby.
I had nothing to do
You
with it.
think I'm gonna fry for you,
He's a
Lorna?
crazy man. Shoot him. Shoot him, for God's sake!
Ладно, сейчас догоним.
Sabo.
Чуваки тут стоят сутки. Я же еще ночью приметил. Ой. Ой, не туда. Не туда побежал.
Sabo, stop or I will shoot.
Давай, давай, давай. Да. Я, кажется, его упустил. Никогда не удавались погони.
You stay back.
Кого его?
I like
Это
this
она.
one, I don't care.
Put the weapon down now.
Бац.
Put your weapons down and your hands in the air.
Готов.
Help me!
Хедшот.
You look spooked, Phelps. I thought you'd been under fire before.
В каком месте я струхнул? Чувак. Ты чё? Мы закончили дело. Очередное. Точнее, заканчиваем. Поговорим с капитаном.
So, I give you a hit and run. You bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth. You got some sharp elbows on you, detective. I like that. Keep up the good work.
Смотрим сводку по делу. Сколько же мы заработали за его раскрытие? 9 из 9, 10 из 10. Нанесли довольно. Ну, в принципе, небольшой урон. Закрыли дело блестяще. Ну и на этой ноте, наверное, мне пора сказать всем пока. До встречи в новых видео. И да, чуть не забыл небольшой анонс. Pixar уже месяц перед свой гайд по Call of Duty, который будет включать историческую часть. И, собственно, современным то, что стало, то, что сделали Activision с этой некогда великолепной серией. Сейчас же мы видим, к сожалению, регресс. Ну что ж, ладно. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем